Hello and thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. I'm Mackailyn Johnson. Now at noon. Right now, COVID-19 rates are on the rise across the state. Just ahead, an update on the latest recommendations from the CDC. And a new vision correction treatment is now available in the U.S. How it works in 15 minutes. Plus, it's National French Fry Day. We've got the info on how to get a free serving of the hot and crispy treats. But first, we're here with meteorologist Nathan Scott. Nathan, well, we got some rain yesterday.
We did get some rain, some heavy rain, some well-needed rain in parts of the region. Not everybody saw the rain, though, and those showers and storms developed ahead of a cool front. The cool front is slicing its way through the state right now, and look at the temperatures. They're still into the low 90s for many spots. 89 in Mountain Home, 87 in Harrison. The clouds really bubbling up into Mississippi. And as we take a look at the dew points, this really tells the story of where that frontal boundary is making its way through, because it's still humid out there. Dew points are to the 70s, but look at the less humid air. Dew points have dropped down to the upper 50s in Fayetteville, and slowly but surely that less humid air will build its way down to the south. Feels like 100 in the capital city, 100 in the Spa City, 102 in Pine Bluff. Heat advisory remains in effect for South Arkansas, and that's because the heat indices could be 105 to as high as 110. Live radar is all quiet across Arkansas at this time, but I do expect more showers and storms to bubble up with the daytime heating as that frontal boundary dips its way into South Arkansas. So Little Rock into the north, we should be dry. But if you're watching us in Arkadelphia, Pine Bluff, Camden, Monticello, Fordyce, Rison, there's going to be the opportunity you could see a spotty shower and maybe even a strong, possibly severe thunderstorm. Here's the latest from the Storm Prediction Center. It does have a slim risk. We could see one or two storms that try to produce some large hail, dime to quarter size once again, and also some winds of 50, maybe as high as 60 miles per hour, and also a lot of lightning. So stay weather aware down into South Arkansas. I'll have more on what you can expect through the rest of the work week coming up.
Thanks, Nathan. And we have a traffic alert just into the newsroom. Conway County, I-40 westbound right lane is blocked due to a grass fire near Menifee, mile marker 118. Visibility may be limited. Please be careful. And you can monitor all of this if you need to get on the road at idrivearkansas.com. The dog days of summer are here, and being outside right now just feels miserable. Those who know that best, student athletes. THV11's Ian Russell spent the day in Lone Oak learning about new equipment, helping keep athletes safely on the field.
Look, I know it's hot, you know it's hot, and these guys out there practicing, they sure know it's hot right now. And while that summer sun may be beating down on them, new technology is making sure they stay safe.
Ready, down, so hit.
The summer sun isn't taking a break. And neither is Titus Yeager.
Scorching.
He, along with dozens of other high school football players, are getting some group practice in at Lone Oak High School. Practices are tough, but staying healthy is even tougher.
A lot of our conversations have to do with it being hot and wanting water, but we try to keep each other accountable, but sometimes it's not always that easy.
That's where athletic trainers like Whitney Murray come in. She's got the basics like ice packs and water ready to go.
Needing to find shade, I like to carry a ice bucket with water in it with sponges.
But there's technology here that's helping her out. If you're a parent of an athlete or an athlete yourself, you'll know what this is.
A more accurate measurement of the heat stress that kids get.
A wet bulb globe thermometer tracks things like humidity, the air temperature, wind speed, but it still relies on people like Murray to check on it. Not this version, though.
And it will give you those measurements, and it will keep a log of those measurements as well, so you'll have it documented for your practice times the next day.
The upgraded tech sends data straight to Murray's phone, a lifesaver if she's taking care of an athlete and can't check on the rest of the players. While they're working hard on the field,
Down, so hit.
she's working just as hard to keep them safe.
Yeah, the more technology we have, the better we can keep these guys safe. It makes the playing experience a whole lot more enjoyable for them, and also allows them to stay longer on the field and participate longer.
That's the goal, making sure players like Titus enjoys what he does. It may be hot, but technology like this is what's keeping them there.
We don't try to take moments for granted. We try to enjoy it, but we also work hard.
In Lone Oak, Ian Russell, THV11 News.
The trainer says all schools should look into those new thermometers. She says they got theirs at Baptist from a grant through the AAA and says all schools in the state should consider the same. The ongoing COVID-19 surge has led to soaring case rates and positivity levels, but there's an important difference from past surges. We're looking here at the past 3 surges: Delta last summer, the original Omicron around the new year, and the new summer surge. Testing is much lower than it was during Delta, so pay attention to the purple for positivity. It's the second highest we've ever seen. Still, Omicron isn't sending as many people to the hospital as older variants did. Just 5% of ICU beds are holding COVID patients. 30% of beds are free, and that's a good sign. Community levels are high right now in parts of the state, including much of the greater Little Rock area. If your county is shown in the red right now, CDC guidelines currently recommend everyone wear a mask in public. Now to a THV 11 update. We are learning more about the arrest of a man accused of robbing a bank in North Little Rock. Earlier today, Little Rock police said its officers were the ones that made the arrest. This is new video from Little Rock police. Investigators tell us they took Amblio John Daniels into custody in connection to a stolen vehicle. They later determined that he was also wanted by North Little Rock police in the attempted robbery at Bank of America in the Argenta district. Right now, he is charged with theft, but we are working to learn about any other charges he may face. The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol attack held its 7th public hearing Tuesday. House committee members say President Trump lit the flame, igniting the January 6th riot, galvanizing radical groups who showed up that day with body armor, bear spray, and bats.
This could have been the spark that started a new civil war, and no one would have won there.
Lawmakers want to examine whether former President Donald Trump helped mobilize extremist groups like the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers that day. We're now seeing security video from inside the Uvalde Elementary School where 19 students and 2 teachers were shot and killed almost 2 months ago. It comes after repeated calls for answers and accountability surrounding what happened that day. We are choosing not to show anything graphic, but even still, some may find the video disturbing. But it is an important development as more and more calls emerge looking for a better understanding of how law enforcement responded. This is a time lapse of nearly 45 minutes where you can see multiple agencies gather at the end of the school hallway, not far from where gunfire was still happening. The officers do not enter the classroom for more than an hour. This clip does not include sound originally on the video. Again, due to its disturbing nature, the full video is available right now on our website for those who choose to see it. We want to warn you again that it is graphic, but does offer new insight into what happened that day. And gun control advocates are rallying on Capitol Hill today, calling for new restrictions in the wake of the most recent mass shooting. Deborah Alfarone has more details from Capitol Hill.
They have descended on Capitol Hill from across the country, including Uvalde, Texas, and Highland Park, Illinois.
I hit the ground while holding my daughter against me. I was able to scream to the crowd that it was a shooter and to get down. In hindsight, getting down was probably not the best move considering our assailant was above us.
They're all calling on Congress to pass new gun control measures, including a universal background check and a ban on assault weapons.
We want to make Highland Park the last community impacted by a mass shooting.
Lawmakers passed a new gun control bill last month, which was the most extensive new law in the last 30 years. But there appears to be little appetite on Capitol Hill amongst Republicans to pass an assault weapons ban. President Biden said Monday he'll continue to push Congress to act.
I'm determined to ban these weapons again and high-capacity magazines that hold 30 rounds and to let mass shooters fire hundreds of bullets in a matter of minutes. I'm not going to stop until we do it.
The House is expected to pass a new bill this week, which could save lives. The Active Shooter Alert Act would create a communications network, which would inform communities when active shooters are in their areas. The system would work similarly to the Amber Alert system. 15 Republicans are joining dozens of Democrats as co-sponsors of the bill, all but assuring its passage. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The House is expected to vote on the bill later today and will then send it over to the Senate for its consideration. Now, for the first time since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, the Senate is now hearing from those impacted by the decision. Witnesses on both sides of the issue testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee about the ramifications of the Dobbs decision. Meanwhile, in the House, a Rules Committee took up two bills, one that would codify the right to an abortion. The second would ban states from interfering with someone's right to travel to another state to get the procedure. Neither bill is likely to clear the Senate and make it to the president's desk. Coming up, we're going to be talking about a new eye treatment that is now in the U.S. Nathan?
Mackailyn, we're seeing a mixture of sun and clouds out there. Parts of the region could see a spotty shower storm in South Arkansas later today. I'll have more on that and also talk about some slightly less humid conditions building their way in here on Thursday next.